Hi, I'm Paul Davidson, CIO of Sedgemoor District Council, and in this video I'm going to walk through the digital capabilities that we've identified for our new digital platform that we're currently procuring. Before we look at the capabilities themselves, let me tell you something about Sedgemoor. We have about 350 members of staff, we serve about 120,000 population over about 70,000 properties. Our digital transformation program has four key themes. There they are: improving the experience for our customers, so plenty of good online services, improving the efficiency for the council, so perhaps that's automating where possible, collaborating with other agencies that serve our communities, so that's about taking our place in the place, and improving decision making on the use of our council resources, so that's about using data and insight to help tune our services. Our transformation program is not just about providing online services to customers, it will affect every member of staff. We have a number of principles that are guiding our digital transformation program, but I'll pick this one out in particular. We have about 15 separate computer systems that operate across our services, and each one of them typically has a similar set of capabilities within them. So they've got a database, some business logic, workflows and document management maybe, certainly some rights management, a reporting tool, a portal, performance monitoring and so forth. But what that means is each time we have a separate dedicated system for each one of our services, it actually reinforces the divisions within our organisational design, and it creates unnecessary points of integration. And that means it's quite hard to join up information for our customers and deal with them holistically. So we want to move to a digital architecture that has less of those systems and invests once in a set of capabilities that we can join together to create digital services. Now, it is worth pointing out that at Sedgemoor we have our own in-house software to run our revenues, so that's council tax and business rates, and housing benefits. So that certainly gives us an advantage as we set out on this journey. Okay, so let's look at the capabilities that we've defined. Now we're using a tool from iStand UK to help us to capture, map and visualise our capabilities. First of all, we've just entered our vision. You'll recognise the four themes, and then we've gone on to add some further principles to our vision. This tool then enables us to map our capabilities within capability groups to that vision. So what I'm going to do is walk through this diagram explaining each of the digital capabilities that we've defined and how they fit to deliver on that vision. On this diagram, each gold object represents a digital capability which we have considered will be the building blocks of our digital services. For each of these, we will either host them ourselves or reach out to a cloud or government facility. I'm recording this video in February 2018, and we're currently procuring a digital platform using this diagram as part of the specification. There are 36 of these capabilities, and we have grouped them into some helpful headings which are shown in green. I'll start with the service group. The diagram shows that we've defined three capabilities in the service group: a service register, a service designer, and a service dashboard. Taking a look at the service register, we have defined this as a directory of services to include our own services, the services that other organisations offer to our communities, and the services that we use from others. For each entry, we need consistent information, including eligibility, costs, availability, venues, enabling legislation, audience groups, and so on. This is typical of each of the capabilities. We have given each one a definition like this. Looking at the diagram, you'll see that we have also used the tool to start to associate user stories with each capability, and we've also mapped our existing systems to each capability to provide a gap analysis. However, all of that is for another video. I'll concentrate on the capabilities. For each capability, we've considered the data standards and APIs that make it interoperable. This is crucial for the vision, so that we can build solutions out of capabilities and so that customers and partners can access us digitally, perhaps using proxy websites and apps. In this case, the brown objects list the standards that we've associated with the service register capability. We have the Open 311 standard. You might know that as a standard that allows environmental reporting, such as potholes and fly tipping. I can click on that standard and see what other capabilities can use it, and look at the custodian's web pages about it. For the service register, we've listed standards from so Open 311 you've seen, schema.org, the Local Government Association, the classification scheme from the ESD Toolkit, and the Local Links interface for gov.uk. So that was just one capability, a register of our services. We've defined 36 capabilities, and I shan't go through each of them in that much detail. I'll just explain each one in its group. So back to the service group, you've seen the service register. We've also defined a service designer. That is a set of tools for service managers to design services themselves using the rest of the capabilities, so that we reduce the need to refer back to IT colleagues whenever we provide a new service or improve an existing one. Finally, in this group, we've defined a service dashboard for each service to present throughput and performance information. Here is the account group of capabilities. These are all about linking cases across service areas. We have a capability for registers. These are at the heart of the platform, giving a core set of identifying information for subjects that appear in many services. Most obviously, that would be people, businesses and properties, but we've extended that idea to other subjects like licenses or tenancies. So registers provide a list of these things that can be linked to from many services, joining up cases where appropriate. Government have started to publish registers too, and we already see these types of schemes from Companies House, Ordnance Survey and so on. So it's all about linking to reliable sets of core information. We have a capability for data matching, which is where we need facilities like fuzzy matching to automate or provide options when making links, retaining the confidence level in the match. Having made links to the corporate registers, the case history capability is designed to list all cases where a register entry has played a role. So most obviously cases for customers and dwellings, but we might also want to have a case history for a tree or a bylaw. Finally, the My Accounts capability is designed to provide an authorised user, so that might be a customer, with a view of their accounts and cases. Building on the ideas of service and account, we have a case group, where a case tracks a request for a service through to its resolution. We've defined a generic case management capability in which the business logic and information requirements and processes for a service can be configured. For those services which cannot be configured using a generic tool, the line of business case management capability represents those systems that are a specialised solution. That will include service areas like council tax, benefits, finance and so on. However, the intention is to reduce the number of such systems and therefore reduce the need for integration. So the more that can be configured generically, the better. The communication group is about passing information to and from customers and partner organisations. That is either by broadcasting material for general consumption or transacting with customers and partners as we provide services. So we've defined capabilities for serving content to the web. That's not just to people using web browsers. There are all sorts of devices that access the internet, and increasingly computers talking with other computers. An eForms designer to generate ways of entering information on devices. Mediated services are facilities for our staff to guide customers through using our services. The APIs capability is about exposing our services as digital interfaces for other computers to use. This is about extending our reach beyond our own channels where our services can be discovered and accessed. The direct messaging capability is about how we can send alerts and updates, perhaps about the progress of a case. The process group is about designing and operating repeatable methods to resolve a case raised from a service. We want to automate where we can, based on rules and thresholds, and where we can't automate, we want to route the right piece of work to the right person or agency in the right order. A process designer is a tool for service managers to map out processes and decision points. We've also defined that each process is to be risk assessed for identity assurance levels and information security. Workflow is the engine that runs the processes once defined, applying the automation and routing and escalating where a target may not be met. The task group is about defining a reusable activity which can feature as a step in many processes. If a task has a digital interface, maybe its own API, it can be accessed and monitored digitally. We may want to access some tasks from the cloud. Typical tasks would be book an appointment, deliver an item, take a payment. The task register capability lists the tasks available to the platform. It may be that we have more than one provider for some tasks, perhaps with different service levels, maybe some in-house, maybe some appointed externally. So the task provider capability captures and monitors how each task is provided. The reusable tasks capability represents each individual task that can be incorporated into processes. The information group is about handling documents and data and making them available to parts of the platform. We need to know what information we have, so the inventory capability is about declaring data sets and their purpose and restrictions. The case data capability recognizes that as a case is being handled, the supporting information will be optimized for that job, so data structures and terminologies will be specific to the service. Skipping over to the enterprise data capability, that is where case data will be warehoused into a single store with a common data model that can be queried across all services and making joins using the registers. It is this enterprise data which is the start of gathering insight about how our communities use services and where we can look for patterns to promote interventions. The remaining capabilities here we already have, so now we need to make them available to the platform. That is content management for authoring articles, records management to capture admissible evidence of the documents that we use as we take decisions, geographic data, so GIS systems recording where things are, scanning, capturing paper to digital documents, document processing, collaborating to create documents, spreadsheets, presentations, and so on. Finally, the external data capability is about the standards by which we can get real-time access to data held by other organisations. That will be dependent upon how others make their data available. We've specified Sparkle and OData so far, together with government APIs such as Attribute Exchange. The trust group is about assuring that information is used and shared appropriately with customers and with partner organisations. The identity assurance capability is about being confident in the identity and rights of a customer and of the role of employees as they represent organisations. Back at the process designer, each process was risk assessed for identity assurance, so here the appropriate mitigation can be applied. That might be a simple username and password through to a face-to-face identity check and multi-part credentials. Either way, the right strength of identity proportionate to the type of service being accessed. We have also defined a consent bank, where we can record where a customer has given their consent for data to be shared for a given purpose. Customers can withdraw their consent later too. Data sharing agreements is a simple register to record documents that have been signed up to by organisations to support data sharing within services. Finally, data licenses takes each data flow and records purpose, enabling legislation, necessary accreditations and agreements, and so on. The final group is the strategic group, where we define insight as a capability for data analytics. The policy register is a simple register to list policies and quality statements, particularly those that we use to shape our services. That would include corporate objectives such as economic vitality and more measurable commitments such as how we respond to types of incidents. The change management capability refers to program and project management, capturing the various methodologies that we use, keeping everyone updated and aware of next steps, and evidencing the impact of change from insight. Finally, exception reporting is about highlighting where cases or service levels will miss targets. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. We believe that these are the digital capabilities that we need to reinvent our business to serve our customers digitally, bring forward efficiencies, work with other local organisations, and know that our resources are being put to good use. Thanks for watching.